So there's a lot to say, and it's really hard to choose where to start. So I figure we'll just start here and see what happens. So those of you who've been following know that for 2 years I've been working on a game called Quantum Hands. That game has been renamed Words of Power, as that is more relevant because we don't use the cards now. So with the latest version, we finally got another playtester, and we played for about 2 hours, and it was great. So in the interest of expanding our playtester pool, I'm going to make a series of videos explaining how to play the game and why make the game at all, right? Because there are thousands of perfectly good RPGs out there, but the ones that I've seen don't do the things that I personally care about. So, just to walk you through some of the major features, this is just an introduction, is that we are looking for tools, not rules. And what that means is instead of 4 players versus one game master, we want to actually just give the players tools to do the things that they want to do in the game. There's still a game master, he still runs the game, but everything is built on the concept of how do I do the cool thing I already have in mind. We take the player's intent and then we build a path for them to do the thing they want to do. Many popular RPGs get into this kind of contentious relationship where it's like, I want to do this cool thing. It's like, it's not quite within the rules. Sorry, you can't do that. At the very most severe for Words of Power, we'll say, you need this to do that. But the answer no should just never come up when a bunch of friends are hanging out, right? So the basic premise of Words of Power is that instead of stats, you have words that describe your character. So instead of having stealth +3, you have words like stealthy, nimble, sneaky, right? These are things that describe your character as a person. And the more things you have describing the action you're trying to take, the more dice you get to roll. So someone who's very good at sneaking is going to have 3 or 4 words: stealthy, small, inconspicuous, right? And those words are going to let you roll 4 dice for your challenges. And every time that you look at which words allow you to get that bonus, it reinforces the character that you've made. It reminds you that your character is stealthy and small and inconspicuous. It's kind of a meme in Dungeons and Dragons circles that everyone forgets that the halflings are like super short or that the elves are super old. And one of the great features of Words of Power is that you are constantly reminded about the character that you made. And the character that you made is actually the character you wanted to play. It's not some concept shoved into a narrow class description stats. It is literally just described by the words you would normally use to describe that character. So the goal is to get people playing what they want to play in the way that they want to play it so that we can tell better stories. The other major aspect of Words of Power is that it cuts down on references and prep. Because we're just using words instead of complicated formulas, we do still roll dice, we still have some numbers, but primarily you're just using words. You don't need tables and indexes and like 400 pages of specific spells or anything, or monster stats even. Combat doesn't take place on like a carefully measured grid. There's a battle board. And so you end up referencing books a lot less. You end up arguing over rules much less. And everyone just kind of keeps the narrative going. That's really the name of the game, is the narrative. So the basic lore of Words of Power is this concept of fate weavers. They are characters who collect the destinies of generic and specific things. So like the idea of fire, you collect it and then you use it to alter reality. And normal people don't know that Fate Weavers are doing this, but Fate Weavers do. All players are Fate Weavers, whether they like it or not, and most of the big bad NPCs are going to be Fate Weavers as well. So that ties directly into our magic system, where you combine words to create ad hoc, in the moment, improv spell effects. In our most recent playtest, the guy had hail and pebbles, and he used it to cave in a cave on a boss. It was great. So that's kind of the free form structure that we're going for, is that there are only enough rules, really tools, to give you a framework to tell and participate in a really fun story. It's my goal entirely to remove all the stress and overhead that stops people from signing up for it. I want people to sign up for a one-shot, have a great time playing exactly the character they want, in exactly the universe they want to represent, doing the things that their character would do. There's absolutely nothing wrong with an ancient, undead, like, lich that can't die. We can tell a story about that character, and it doesn't have to be OP or anything. We just have to actually tell a story about that character. So in this way, it's very, very descriptive because you choose the words. And it's constantly reinforced by the idea of using those words. And so, by removing all that overhead and all that stress and all that reference material, all this external stuff that is not the game you want to play with your friends, it should be much easier to just pick up and play a one-shot with your friends. Something silly. Something that's just fun for a bit. In the 2 playtests that we've done so far, because I've only managed to find 2 playtesters, we did it through text, just in a Discord channel, no voice, just typing. And the battle board's really easy to follow. You don't actually need a visual reference for minis or anything like that. I'm sure they would add to the experience. I'm working on a tabletop simulator module, but in general, the goal of Words of Power is to be able to play with minimal resources, minimal time, minimal prep, and the rules are simplistic enough because it's really just pick some words and throw some dice. So I want to make tabletop games fun again, and I think I'm going to do that by removing the math. Alright, thanks for sticking with me till the end. Just a reminder that the game is still in development, and so the most current rules will not be in these videos. They will be on the website in the rulebook. You can also stop by the Discord to get up-to-date information and maybe participate in the upcoming weekly public games. If you'd like to be a playtester, make sure to DM me, because we need them badly. Have a great day.